Bienvenidos a una nueva nota detrás del deporte, una nota que diría que es diferente y muy interesante porque estamos con Ana, que es de Estados Unidos y vino a la Argentina a hacer una investigación sobre el fútbol para ciegos. Siempre decimos que los murciélagos, la selección argentina de fútbol para ciegos, emociona y mucho y ha llegado a nivel global. Fueron a distintas partes de Latinoamérica a investigar sobre esto, ya que en Estados Unidos todavía no está desarrollado, y vamos a hablar con Ana y le vamos a preguntar un poquito más sobre esta investigación. Hello, Anne, it's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you so much for inviting me. What a pleasure.
So tell me more about this research, this documental that you are searching about.
Well, some years ago, in our small documentary company, I was like, the next project, I want to do something more hopeful about the state of humanity. And blind sports was very exciting to me. There's blindness in my family. I need to protect my own eyes because this is, perhaps in my future. And first I was looking at blind sprinting, blind long jump, goal ball, some sports that the United States participates in. And then in 2019, I had the privilege of going to Lima to the Pan American Games, discovered blind football. I think it is the most exciting sport, adapted, not adapted, that there is. And how delightful to be in the middle of the pitch. I never get to be in the middle of the pitch. I'm usually behind the camera.
Yeah, even though it's exciting, what are you trying to show with the documental?
Well, what is so extraordinary to me is that these athletes don't talk about what they don't have. They don't talk about disability. They talk about ability. They call themselves the murciélagos. They're hearing, like how they can know where they are on the pitch and where they are in the world is beautiful. And in one of our interviews this past week, we've been here in the country for 2 weeks, one of the women, one of the goalies from Las Murciélagas said, it's a beautiful culture, the culture of this game. And it really is. It's one of helping each other. It's not just sighted helping blind. It's what everybody has to teach everyone else with the gifts that they have. And it's extraordinarily beautiful. I had the opportunity to be in Paris for the Paralympics, and there were many, many, many games, but I was only there for blind football. I was at every single match. I was thrilled. I'm, supposed to be nonpartisan, but behind the camera, I was trying to keep quiet about my excitement. It was thrilling. I think I took 30,000 photos, something like that. 100 will be good, but anyway.
They say that Paralympics and Paris, it's a big energy, and I imagine blind football is more. What did you feel about the thing that was happening in the pitch and around Paris?
Well, I think I did go to some athletics and to some, a little bit to some other events before the tournament started for blind football. But every match, I believe, was sold out. And it was maybe 12, 13, 14,000 people. One of the most extraordinary things, and I don't know if it was shown on TV here, is that the Mexican wave, you know this?
Oh, yeah.
That it would start with noise, and then the announcer's like, silencio, silencio, and then they would do it slowly and quietly. It was so beautiful, and I could see the audience joy, just pure joy at what was happening, and to have this beautiful wave going on around the pitch and making it quiet for the players to be able to hear the ball, to hear the void, to hear the guide, to hear the refs, to hear each other. It was like a moment where you can imagine how humanity could cooperate with each other in the beautiful game. I mean, we all know that football is the beautiful game, even though the United States is always late to that party. It was just an extraordinary moment. I was sad that it was over.
You've been in Argentina for 2 weeks. Why Argentina?
Well, we are following, for this documentary, we're following the men's teams, and the story is sort of the road to Paris and beyond. And we chose, maybe a year and a half ago, in Birmingham, there were in 2023 August, the World Games. And that's when 3 of the 8 teams qualified. And that's when I was like, let's follow Colombia, Brazil, and Argentina on the way to the games, because we knew they were going to go.
And they went.
And they went. Then we went also to Chile for the Pan American Games again. So we've been to Colombia following 2 players and their families, their lives, their friends, their training. And we've come to Argentina, not just to follow 2 of the men's players, but we were able to film the concentration of both the men, the Murciélagos, and Las Murciélagas, the women's team, here on this very pitch. The timing was perfect that we were able to do that with both teams, go to Santiago del Estero to interview Coqui Pazia, come back. We were supposed to go to Santa Fe to see Maxi, but there were difficulties in travel. So we have to come back. And we need to come back to do more interviews in depth with the women.
So what did you feel about being here with Los Murciélagos and Las Murciélagas and going to Santiago del Estero, go to the natal place of Coqui Froilán and understand the reality that he had been and he had overpassed, because he was great. He came to Buenos Aires at the age of 30 years old, and then he knew that he can do sports. So what did you learn about that story?
Coqui Pazia, if you've spent any time with him, is hilarious. He is full of jokes and teasing, and I can speak Spanish, and he had made me go on the radio twice, and it was Nueva Esperanza was so welcoming. There were parties. It wasn't one party a day, it was several parties a day, and we interviewed his beautiful family. We showed him on the pitch. We showed him in the town. They had a big fiesta they unveiled a mural of him on the wall of the local club. Everyone, that he's the most famous guy there. He's so humble, and he's such a great player. And he just shows, I'm almost 62. He reminds me, it doesn't matter how old you are, do what you love, keep doing it. Just keep doing it. There's, he talks about the younger guys on the team, like Junior. He says, Junior's like a new car, like really fast. And he's like, just be steady, be calm. And he is a terrific player and so strong. He's not giving up anytime soon. I can't wait to go back to Nueva Esperanza. It was wonderful.
What do you think that the Murciélagos have that they generate this impact on all the people in Argentina? Because maybe other sports doesn't generate those impacts in every people that have watched them.
Clearly, Buenos Aires is a huge city. We would get in a taxi. Why are you here? My colleague speaks fluent Spanish. Oh, we're making a documentary about blind football. Oh, I know, Los Murciélagos. Everyone knows. And then they're like, oh, I gave this one a ride. I gave that one a ride. And they would often put their hand on their heart, like, oh, I love them. Oh, the bats. So what is it? I think of course, they were the champions of the world in 2023. They won silver ahead of Brazil winning bronze, I might add, just saying, at the Paris Paralympics. And
penalties are like that.
Penalties are like that. Anything could happen. It was amazing for France that the home team won.
Yeah.
It was so loud in the stadium, I had to cover my ears. The crowd went crazy. So I was happy for them. But what makes this country believes in them? They are so dedicated to their sport. They are so proud to represent their country. They really are very different from each other. They are such a diversity of personalities and play, but they are serious when they need to be serious. They joke when they can joke. They have a really great camaraderie, which is beautiful to see. I think great things are gonna come.
So in few words, being able to talk with them, why do you think they are one of the best selections in the world?
I think that it's been these years of building and of building the team up, of building the leadership up. Their captain, Angel Deldo, from what I can see, quiet, behind the scenes, doesn't like jump in front of a camera. I witnessed him celebrating the making it to the medal match, and then comforting his teammates in a huddle at the loss to France. And it's just knowing, I mean, it's all about leadership in the world, I think, and participation. They so respect him, and they're all so different. And I think it's that like no one is the same. It's bringing that combination of different people together that I think has really inspired the country. I mean, I know it's inspired me. I can't wait to bring these stories to film. And we've also been to Colombia interviewing 2 players there. But I do want to tell you more about the women's team.
Yeah, we'll
get that.
Talk about that. But first, I want to know, we were talking earlier that the United States does not have a football for blind people. Why?
I always say that the United States is late to the party when it comes to football. We have American football. It's a totally different sport, as we know. It's not, I'm partial. I love what we call soccer. I love it. And I think we will get there. The Paralympics will be in Los Angeles in 2028. For that reason,
they are working for that?
The United States will have a men's blind football team.
Okay.
We will, as hosts, you qualify. It would be the only way. I shouldn't say. It would be the only way that we would qualify right now, because we're building it. We're building the program now. And then I think after 2028, hopefully after our film comes out, there will be more interest. And then of course, there are many young people with vision impairment who would benefit. Many.
Yeah, of course. But there are another sports for blind people in the United States.
Yes, of course. There's an association of blind athletes, and there's goalball, athletics like long jump, which I find extraordinary, sprinting, long distance running, a number of others for judo, for blind athletes.
So you've been in Argentina, in Colombia, there in Chile. What were your discoveries about football para ciegos in all the countries that you visit? And what country did you think that have more infrastructure and it's more developed of football para ciegos?
Right now I can only compare like the United States, which doesn't have much. It's in development. The people who are doing it are devoted. And I've been in Argentina right here that has the Senard. What an incredible place this is. It's just been extraordinary to see, you know, wheelchair tennis over here, javelin over there. I mean, like, adapted sports is happening everywhere in this enormous sports complex area. I mean, just having this is amazing. I can't compare with Brazil because I haven't been there. In Colombia, I don't know as much about how they do their concentrations, but it's really about what the government decides to and FADEC,
yeah,
how they decide to allocate resources. In Colombia, we went to several cities, and the players and the coaches in those towns working out every day, practicing every day. Colombia did beautifully. It was their first time qualifying. They got to the semifinals. They did beautifully. I mean, some of what I've learned is what people do in their time when they're not on the pitch, which is also incredible. Juan David in Colombia is a social worker. He's in school for social work. He's an environmentalist. He rode a tandem bike in his region to meet blind kids and plant trees with them. John Gonzalez is studying here. Koki Pagia is a community leader in his town. Angel, it works with people with disabilities who need. So it's sometimes what they do. I mean, what they do on the pitch is extraordinary. We hope in the film to also show what they do off the pitch.
So we've been talking about men,
Yes.
but it's a turn for women. I think women around all the sports, maybe it's not just equally or just they are maybe not at the same level, not because they are not at the same level, but just because the persons or the society is not so just. What have you been in discover with this documentary?
Well, as you know, Las Murciélagas are the champions of the world. They won. I was present. It was thrilling to be present.
It's not so diffuse.
No. They were champions of the world for the first time that there were champions in Birmingham, England at the World Games in 2023. I was able to be there. It was the last minute that I was able to be there. I was crying. It was beautiful to see. I had told them the day before, I think you're going to win, and Gonzalo, the coach, was like, don't say that, don't say that. So then I was more nervous than they were. But so I saw them win. It was incredible. Right now there's a movement, an application for women's blind football to be a sport in the Los Angeles Paralympics. The application is pending. It's really important. And I do hope that our work making the documentary and spreading the word about this game will help that application. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. There are qualified teams. It's 4 years till then to have qualifying matches all over the world. It'd be great for the sport. There's absolutely no reason besides sexism that would.
So that's the
yeah.
reason for you that blind football for women is not so visualized in the world?
I think it's that it hasn't been. I mean, Gonzalo Abbas, the coach, is such a leader in not just the sport for Argentinian women, but around the world, and trying to develop the sport and get it accepted to, because the Paralympics is the pinnacle, like the Olympics, it's the top. And if it's a sport there, then everyone will be trying to get there, trying to climb that mountain. And it will be wonderful for the sport. And that's what's on TV. If it's on TV, people will be like, oh, I can do that. If it's just happening in a corner in a park and people don't know, they won't know that they could participate. Yeah. And just like a child that has vision impairment, seeing that, I think will totally change them, even if they never play it. They'll know, oh, I can run around. I mean, what I hear from the women on the pitch is, I feel so free. How beautiful.
So we've been interviewing different persons that have disabilities, including los murciélagos, and they all say, before sports, I didn't know that I have the opportunity for myself to doing something great or to be someone.
Yes.
That's so strange, because why not?
Yes.
And what do you think, being able to talk with them, that they are example of what? If you can put in words, values.
It's an example of not letting the world keep you down, not letting fear run your life. And then if you can do this, what can't you do? What can't you do? I mean, honestly, they're tackling each other against this wall. Gracia Sosa said, I can hear the empty space. And she'll run there because she knows there are no defenders there.
They develop their other senses.
Absolutely.
And that's great.
Absolutely. And I think that what they're also showing us is humans, we're not all the same. Great. I think that's great. Let's bring different gifts to life, to the story, to the efforts to make this place better. And how terrible to say everyone needs to be the exact same. It doesn't make us better. I think that seeing them on the pitch, what they can do on the pitch, translates to not just what they can do in the world, but what we all can do in the world. I'm like, if they can do that, okay, I can make a movie in a language that I don't speak.
That's a great message to close the interview, but there's something else that you want to talk about or to reflect about?
Well, I just would like to say, after these 2 weeks here in Argentina, I've so appreciated the generosity of the people, of the players, of their families. There are difficulties going on all over the world, but people have been so generous with us. I'm so grateful to Las Murciélagas and Los Murciélagos for sharing their stories. The working title of our film is The Envisionaries, which is a made-up word. It's sort of like the people who can't imagine. And it's not just about the people who can't imagine the pitch. For me, it's the people who can imagine a better world where we're helping each other. We're helping each other be better people and do more and have more opportunities, and also make beauty and be part of this beautiful game.
Thank you, Anne, for all your words and for all the time you put in these sports and in Argentina.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Si te gustó nuestro contenido, suscríbete al canal y activa la campanita. Y si querés ver toda nuestra programación en vivo, entra a www.unifetv.com. Sumate Unife. Sumate un buen día.